Hey guys, welcome back.
Hello, David here.
And this is Sean. I'm a graduate accountant.
And I'm, I think, a director of a company.
And this is my boss man here, Dave Mack.
Yes.
So today we are going to talk about the differences between our experiences. I'm a graduate accountant and Davey has been doing accounting for the past 14 years.
Yeah, so the whole point of this is to inspire, but also to give you guys a bit of like a perspective of both of us. Like, what is it like to be an accountant? How fun it is. It's amazing and fun. Yeah, so just to, give a bit of a personal touch.
First question, how long have you been doing accounting?
Since I was 17, so about 14 plus years ago now. Yeah. So
you guys can do the math and you guys know Davey's age now.
Yeah, 31, mate. Yeah, so I started when I was a cadet. Like, a lot of people are thinking, what the hell, you're 17 years old, how could you start in accounting? It's kind of like a traineeship. You would do study on the side and work on the side. We'll cheap labor, basically. So I started back in 2007 and 2008. Mum and dad needed the money, so I just jumped right into accounting. Got my first job in the city, literally. It was really fun, yeah.
So for me, I graduated in a Bachelor's of Accounting from Monash in 2019. And afterwards, I worked in the financial planning industry for more than a year. And then now I've moved into the accounting industry and I've been in the accounting industry in total for about a year.
Yeah, so very big differences. Like I started very early in my work-life career. Probably one of the ones that stayed. There's not many of us still there. Like, we started with a team of 12 cadets. I think only 2 or 3 of us are still accountants. Yeah, the rest of them are working for banks or corporate companies. So yeah, and you started after your uni degrees. Yeah, so I didn't have a uni degree when I started. They call us undergraduates, and you're a graduate accountant. So yeah, cool.
So Davey, what are your thoughts about accounting as a career?
Accounting is a love and hate relationship. So sometimes I love it, sometimes I hate it. And the reason being is because I've been doing this for 14 years. So if you do things that you really love, you're gonna hate it at times. I'm sure you're never gonna always love your partner, mate. There's sometimes you absolutely hate them. Is that true? No?
No, I love.
Then maybe it's just me.
I love my girlfriend at all times.
Don't tell my girlfriend this. Yeah, don't tell my fiance actually. But yeah, so it's a love and hate relationship. It's been very rewarding, but it's also been very tough, especially during my early stages of my career because one, you're working grunt work, you're not really seeing much clients, so you don't see that you're actually making a change. But eventually, once you get into a manager level or you start seeing clients, you start making a lot of changes for clients and you see that it's very fulfilling. So yeah, that's pretty much my my thoughts about accounting. It's also something that really challenges your mind. So once you get to a point in your career in accounting, you feel like you pretty much can take over the world. That's what I feel. I feel like I can solve any problem that's thrown at me.
So for me, well, I used to think that accounting is just for boring people and people who just crunch numbers all day.
That's me.
Yep. But well, to me, I may be a little bit biased because I started my accounting career in Box Advisory Services, and Box Advisory, we're a very young team. And Davey's vision for the firm is quite different from other accounting firms. In Box Advisory, we got the partnership team. So the partnership team would build partnerships with different business entities. We got our marketing and educational team. So these are videos that we put out on a weekly basis. And for me as an accountant, speaking to a camera, that's something that I wouldn't really expect in an accounting career. And the third one would be advisory team, which Davey and myself are in as well, where on a daily basis, we are just talking to clients. I meet so many different types of clients on a daily basis, all the way from people working in a band, all the way to CEOs working in a giant tech firm.
Yeah.
Every single day is like a surprise. You really never know what you're gonna get. It's like Forrest Gump.
Yeah, accounting has a lot of faces. There's just so many broad things you can do in accounting. That's why I love about it. Accounting isn't just one person just sits at a desk and just types away.
Yeah.
Or someone that goes and kills everyone, like Accountant, the movie, which is getting a sequel, by the way. Yeah, I can't wait to watch that. Yeah.
But if you are an introvert and you just feel like you want to sit on a desk and type away and crunch numbers all day, that's a part of accounting as well.
Yeah.
That's a big part of accounting as well.
And that's just because you want to be like that doesn't mean it's not a bad thing. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I don't want to talk to people. So sometimes I just want to sit on the computer and do nothing.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in summary, I think that accounting as a career, especially in a firm like Box Advisory Services, could be for anyone.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And in the next 5 years, we're reaching a point where we're going to see a lot of changes for accountants. You're watching this video right now, and that's a big testament that we're seeing a different change of accountants that being more out there, showing the different types of personalities of accounting, showing that the different skills that we have as well. And accountants are getting pushed to talk to their clients a lot more. So it's going to be exciting. Yeah.
I think one more thing I want to point out about accounting as a career is that if you are passionate about business, whether you want to start a business or just business in general, I think a career in accounting is the best stepping stone into entrepreneurship. That's because you meet clients every single day or you crunch the numbers for different business entities and you know exactly what these businesses are spending their money on and what make some businesses successful and some businesses fail. What are the characteristics of a successful business owner? Just the personality, how they carry themselves. You can just gauge all these kind of things as an accountant. And yeah, it's just an amazing opportunity to understand it.
Totally agree, mate.
Okay, let's go into something more fun. So what are some accounting stereotypes and are they true? So the first accounting stereotype is that people think that accountants are good at math. So, Davey, what do you have to say about that?
Do I have to tell them the truth?
Davey can't do math for sure.
Look, I was always taught to use the calculator. So I can't do maths in my head, but you know what? I couldn't do maths when I was a kid as well. So struggled. But I did do 4-unit maths. So if you're talking about maths in 4-unit maths, like problem solving, I can do a really good job. But when it comes to simple calculations, I get that wrong all the time. I can't even count money. So terrible about it. But that's because I'm lazy. Laziness sense that I don't like to use my brain for something that I don't need when I could just use a calculator.
Yeah, or Excel, So from my experience in accounting, even if you start off being really good at math, you would eventually, over the years become worse and worse at math because you just start relying on software so much or relying on the calculator so much, you just, lose all your knowledge about mathematics.
Yeah, I think that saying's dying, or maybe I don't hear it as often anymore. I don't think people say it as much. Yeah.
Okay, let's go into the second stereotype. Accountants like to drink a lot. So, Davey, do you drink a lot?
Fuck yeah, I drink a lot. Yeah, so I drink
testify.
a lot. How about you?
I'm kind of in the middle. Yeah. So
I drink a lot because back in the day, when I was a cadet, that was a big thing. Friday night drinking with the colleagues. We worked our ass off. So let's go spend all our money on drinks. And that's just one round of drinks and then it's all gone. Yeah, I think I drink a lot because it's just fun. I have a crazy story though. I went to a seminar with a bunch of accountants and they were up drinking till 5 a.m. And they went to the seminar at 7 a.m. the next day. I think accountants do drink a lot.
Yeah, I think so. I can testify. I've been to a couple of accounting events and they're pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, so if you're not a true accountant, you don't drink a lot.
Once they let loose, they really, really let loose. All right, so why did you pick accounting?
I chose accounting because I had to fulfill the Asian prophecy. The Asian prophecy, does anyone know what the Asian prophecy is?
You a doctor or you a accountant or you engineer.
Yeah.
You cannot go be at rubbish dump or eat curry laksa.
Yep, or you die.
Or you die. I didn't even know why I said curry laksa, but I'm feeling a bit hungry.
Well, you're from Malaysia, so that's
Yeah,
right. That's something that you eat all the time. Well, all right, that makes me hungry. But so mom and dad always wanted me to go to university and get an education, something that they didn't ever get. So they migrated from Vietnam to Australia for us to have a good life. And for them, they think for their kids to have education, it gives them opportunities. And it wasn't until I grew older, I realized, I really wanted to do this for my mom and dad. So I just went to uni and I thought, what's the easiest thing I could do? Accounting was the top of the list because of the alphabetical order. So I chose accounting. That's kind of why I decided to do accounting. But I also, on a side note, I did choose accounting because, like what you said before, accounting is a very first stepping stone to business. And I always wanted to try out and being a business owner. heard a lot about it when I was young. I wanted to provide for the family, I wanted to do something, wanted to make some money. So I chose accounting.
Well, for me, I initially wanted to be an architect. And the reason to that is because when I was young, my dad's a developer, you see. So my dad would bring me to the construction site and his staff will bring me on the tractor, and it's just so cool being a little kid on a tractor and you get to carry soil and all those kind of things. Then once the development finishes and we pass the development in our car, my dad will always brag about it. He'll be like, "Oh son, do you know who built that?" And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. But in my heart,
it was me, son.
Yeah, it was me, son. In my heart, like I would always say like, yeah, you're just being too braggy. But in my heart, I was like, okay, yeah, that's so cool to have a landmark and say that you built that.
So why the hell are you accounting?
Yeah, exactly. So when I went to university, I picked architecture first, but then my relatives in Australia said that, oh, it's actually really difficult to become an architect and build a landmark. Most architects only end up building like houses and designing houses, and they don't actually fulfill like a giant landmark.
It makes sense though, yeah. There's only one building and that building lasts for many years, right?
Yeah, and like apparently the job market for an architect is like pretty competitive. So my mom got spooked and she spooked me. So my dad had this whole thing about, oh, if you become an accountant, you could be the second in command with your boss and advise about all the business kind of things with your boss, and you just be the closest with your boss and you will understand business the most. And therefore I studied accounting and finance, and I absolutely hated accounting because consolidation in year 2, what consolidation is merging a company.
Let's not go into that. It's just bloody hard.
Yeah, another company.
It's so hard. Like, trust me, I understand what you feel.
Yeah. So after that, I became I went into financial planning and financial advisory. Yeah. And after financial planning and advisory, I wanted to go into venture capital.
Yeah.
And finally, Davey convinced me to start a career in accounting. And once I started, I never looked back. I completely do not regret my decision. My point is that to people who are watching this and who are doubting their career in accounting, accounting isn't what you think it is, what people portray it to be. You really have to go into the industry, try it out, then see whether it fits you or not. And in my case, I never thought that I would actually become an accountant, but here I am and I really, really love it.
Yeah, I literally called and begged Sean to be an accountant. Nah, that didn't happen. But I totally 100% agree. And then there were times I actually thought accounting was boring, but it's because you don't put your hand up for every opportunity. There are so many opportunities in accounting, so many faces and so many things you could do in accounting. And you just got to be the one that has the patience to get there. And I find that a lot of people don't have the patience to work hard, put in the hours and put in the time. There's a lot of talk on social media about you can get to wherever your goal is in the next couple of years, the next 60 days or next 30 days. Mate, like career should be a lifetime thing. It should take longer than 1 or 2 years. So I've been doing accounting for 14 years, and my first few years of accounting, I was like contemplating, should I be sticking to this or should I go somewhere else? But I decided to keep pushing forward, and now it's been 14 years, and now I don't think I've ever got to look back. And I actually thank accounting. I always think about it, and I'm like so thankful of like what accounting has done for me in my business, in my life. Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah. So what is your typical day like at the office?
Okay, so typical day at the office is I firstly start about 9 a.m. I'm not one of those early risers. First couple of hours is all about E&C, emails and coffee, which means leave me the bloody F alone. Let me wake up and let me go through all the emails I have to go through for the whole day. 10 a.m. I have a quick chat to the staff. I've woken up and I jump on the phone calls and the meetings that start from about 10 a.m. onwards. Talk to clients, I talk to staff, I talk about internal processes, we talk about marketing, we talk about softwares, we also talk to clients, new prospective clients as well, and we also, from about 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. review accounting work as well. And then about like 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. I have a late lunch. Sometimes it's only half an hour, sometimes I don't even eat at all, I forget. And then from 2 p.m. onwards to 6 to 7 p.m. These days it's been a lot more because it's just COVID. it's been a bit tough. But I literally just jump on the phone and have meetings all the way till about 6 to 7. That's pretty much my day.
Yeah. I think for a graduate accountant, it's not to say similar, but I personally shadow a lot what Davey does.
I think that's because you're more client facing, but then there are some graduate accountants that just focus on just smashing out work. It just depends.
Yeah. For me, the goal is to make my boss's life easier and to know that the value of my time is not on a monetary basis equivalent to the value of my boss's time. So I would try to free up as much time for my boss as possible in any way. In that case, the company's profit margins can increase because my boss's time would be much more valuable than mine. Yeah.
That, my friend, is the best answer you should give your boss.
Am I getting a pay raise after this?
But what is your typical day then?
Basically, whatever you're doing, if you're gonna go into a client meeting, I will make sure that all the documents are ready for you.
Yeah, so you shadow me a lot. Like
Yeah,
you pretty much go through to my emails. Once I get an email, I'll forward that email to you. Sometimes you draft my emails as well.
Yeah.
And then sometimes you collate all the information.
Generate the reports.
Generate the reports for me.
Ensure that the bookkeeping is done.
Yes, yeah. So you check, I ask you to check a few things. Sometimes I'll forward an email over to you. You'll think of an idea and then and then you present that to me and I'll refine it and then you go and action it. Yeah.
So next up, what do you hate about accounting?
Nothing. Accounting is amazing, guys. Nah, I actually do hate a few things. Probably lately, what I do hate about accounting is being the bad guy. Like there's this saying, numbers don't lie, right? So what that means is that we look at the numbers and we provide evidence on certain cases. And sometimes like when we look at the numbers, we can tell that a business is not doing well, or we can tell that the business is not eligible for COVID grants, and we have to be a bit bad guy to confront the client or the staff and talk to them about the issues. As a business owner that doesn't read the numbers that much, you rely heavily on emotions and analyzing the behaviors. But for us accountants, we look at the numbers and we present the numbers to people. And sometimes we are more influenced by the numbers, and so therefore sometimes we have to be the bad guy when we say that, hey, your business is not doing well or you're not performing well, and here's the numbers why. And I find that is something I don't really like and I kind of hate about accounting. It's tough to be the bad guy.
Yep, definitely. Well, for myself, I dislike doing, as a graduate, you would have to do a lot of mundane things. I think a good example would be probably bookkeeping. And actually, I do enjoy bookkeeping when things are a bit more quiet, when I get to just sit down and just look at the company accounts and just do the bookkeeping. But when things are really hectic, you have 10, 20 things on your plate and you have to smash this bookkeeping job out. Yeah, that's when I really dislike it, because it's just like, I really need to do the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
But like here I am stuck doing bookkeeping, paying bills for clients and all this kind of thing.
And that's the thing that accounting teaches you. And I say this to Sean all the time, accounting gets to a point where what you learn out of accounting is not just the problem solving, but it's also the ability to shift gears. And one moment you're talking to a client and talking to them about how they have no money. And then the next moment, literally 1 minute later, you pick up a phone and you talk to another client that's making too much money and needs to spend it. And then you have to change your whole mindset and talk to them about a different strategy. And that's really hard, shifting gears on stuff. You're talking about doing bookkeeping, and then once you're doing bookkeeping, you have all these other clients wanting other questions or advice from you. So it is tough. I can see why you would say it's tough and what you don't like about that part. Yeah, it's hard.
So Davey, what do you love about accounting?
What do I love? I basically learn every single day. Every single day I'm learning something new. It's been 14 bloody years. Still to this day, I still learn a lot. And a lot of my clients say you know so much, but I still feel like I'm learning more. And sometimes I get clients teaching me on how to do things. Maybe it's because of accounting that made me want to learn so much. And that's why I like to be very educational with my videos. And that's kind of what I love about accounting. It just makes me want to learn. It makes me want to educate people. And that's a good thing about accounting. Yeah.
For me, I absolutely love the moments where clients call you up or send you an email saying like they really appreciate the work that you've put in for them and you had a direct impact in the livelihood of their families. You are providing them a means to an end. For some clients, you are providing some clients an opportunity to expand into this multi-million-dollar business, and just getting these calls and emails of clients telling you how much they appreciate it. Yeah. That means the world to me.
Yeah, no, like it's like accounting is, like I said, accounting is such a big part of life. Like you learn so much. I constantly keep learning. And when I pass that learning to clients or people like Sean, I realized that like, it's part of a lot of the biggest decisions in your life, whether it's like marriage, whether it's like, you know, your career, whether it's starting a business, whether it's buying a house, you need accounting. You need an accountant to help you. In most cases, accounting is directly or indirectly related to those decisions you need to make. So buying an engagement ring, mate, like you need to know how much money you're making and how much taxes you need to pay before you buy an engagement ring. You know, buying a house, you need to do your tax returns to buy a house. Having kids, you need to do the numbers to make sure that you can afford it. So yeah, 100% agree that that has a massive impact in life, and that's why clients are so thankful. And I totally get it. And it is very heartwarming when clients call back and show their appreciation.
And especially during these tough times where there's COVID-19 and people are stuck in lockdown and businesses just cannot operate, us accountants are tasked to provide accountant letters and assist clients to get government grants.
Yeah, and like even just digesting the government grants, like clients don't have a clue on what's going on. It's so confusing, and it's a blessing for us to be able to help. Yeah.
Just imagine this. Imagine that your business cannot operate anymore. You have debts to pay, you have rent to pay, and you have no money. Now you see that the government has provided some grants, and you call your accounting up and ask them, how do I get it?
Well, first things first is they read the grants and they go, I have no bloody clue what's going on. And then they call the accountant because they stress and they go, I don't know how to do this. I don't know what to do. What the heck is like, what is this turnover? I don't even know what I'm doing. Then they call the accountant and then they say like, can you help me?
As an accountant, more so than just telling them how to get the grants, you sort of sometimes have to be a counselor to the client. You have to tell them that, hey, I understand what you're feeling, I understand what you're going through, and I feel you, and I really want to help and support you get through this time.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, the last one. So what do you do outside of work?
I play a lot of basketball. I socialize with friends a lot. These days it's just phone calls and, you know, Zoom calls. I have an amazing dog that we walk literally every day, and I have an amazing fiance that I cook a lot with and do a lot of cleaning. I do also walk 11,000 steps a day. That's what my PT is making me do, because I don't walk enough, because us office guys, that's why I just walk a lot.
For me, same with Davey, and this is probably the coolest part about like me and Davey's work relationship is that I love playing basketball too, so just being able to hoop with your boss, it's kind of cool.
I kick your ass, but
absolutely
he just lets
not.
me win. He lets me win.
Absolutely. Rejected. Okay, yeah, and I'm also starting an e-commerce store outside of work, just getting it started. And you know, working in accounting and being able to meet e-commerce clients all the time, you sort of understand how to, you know, build a new business and new side hustles, because you know, you see how these businesses grow and become successful. I'm also starting to become a chartered accountant in between my course, and well, that's about it. Yeah.
So chartered accountant, he's studying chartered accounting. He's finished his accounting degree in university, so don't get too confused. Chartered accounting is a postgraduate. So yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Those are all the questions that we have. If you have any other questions, feel free to let us know in the comments below. And that's it, guys. So thanks for staying around. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
See you guys.